So today you join us in the kitchen. We haven't thought of a name for this cooking show.
Not yet. We will do.
Double S snacks or triple S? I don't know.
We'll
anyway, yeah, we're gonna. But because everyone gets a bit gloomy in winter, you kind of want to have comfort food and indulgence, stuff like that, and we definitely are in need of that. So yeah.
It's indulgent enough.
Oh. Yeah.
What do you have to do that?
So today we are cooking brownies. So do you want to go through the ingredients we've just bought from Jesse's?
Yeah, well we just got some dark chocolate.
I don't have your back.
As dark chocolate for the bases of the brownies. Got 3 packs of these. We've got some pecan nuts. Give it the extra crunch. I can't. You can see that. To give it the extra crunch. We've got some chocolate chunks, some white chocolate chunks. Kind of give it a mix of both, see how we get on. And yeah, just standard plain flour. We've got a bit of vanilla extract here. We've got some baking powder, some eggs, some unsalted butter, but just the basic stuff really. But good quality chocolate I think goes a long way. So we'll see how we get on, I guess.
So what's the first thing you're doing apart from scoffing the ingredients?
You got to test the produce, you know?
Yes, yes. Does the camera woman get to test the produce as well?
No.
The one who paid for the ingredients? Oh, suddenly quiet.
Do you want to be? Do you want to be? Do you want a bit?
Do you know what? I'm going to save it for the brownies.
Alright.
Like a good girl. So what have you done here? You've broken up the...
Broken up some chocolate.
Yeah.
Good quality chocolate goes a long way, I think. So you have to. So this one's an 85% one. Anything between 70 and 85. So we've gone for the 85 one. But yeah, just paying that extra bit for good quality chocolate, I think goes a long way because all the other ingredients are pretty much the standard ingredients you put in a brownie. We've got some pecan nuts here to give that extra crunch. And we all know that pecan and chocolate go really well.
True.
We've got some chocolate chunks and some milk chocolate chunks to give it a bit of variety, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see how we get on. I haven't tried this recipe yet, so we'll see how we get on, but it should be fine.
And the good thing about white chocolate is it's really rich and indulgent, but because we haven't got too much of it, hopefully it'll be a nice balance, it won't be too...
Yeah, and that's why I guess you want to put some dark chocolate or chocolate that's kind of a high content of cocoa powder, you know, just so it's not so sickly.
A bit more bitter taste to it.
Yeah, just give it a balance, you know.
Yeah.
So we want to put 275, so probably another couple of chunks up. Another couple of chunks and all that, they're all good. Oh god, I reckon one more.
You're not going to see me argue with more chocolate in anything, so...
Right, okay, so after we've done that... God, you're really getting quite close with the camera, aren't you?
Well, people need to see the action.
Okay, so all we're doing now, quite simple, you just basically get a saucepan, fill it up with water, you know, not that much, and then you just put the chocolate in a kind of a bowl like this, like a, what do you call it?
Isn't it called a bain-marie when you do this?
Is that what it's called?
I think that's the name.
Alright, okay, so that's a technical word for it. Just so obviously the bowl itself won't melt, it can withstand the temperature and then chocolate just melts. Because
chocolate melts in your pocket, so essentially you don't need to give it much heat for it to go down to a liquid form, do you?
There you go. We want to, so we're using a sieve just to basically make sure the flour is very fine.
How much flour have you got there?
So we've got 175 grams of flour.
Oh, look at that wrist action, very good. Now what's going in?
1 teaspoon of baking powder.
Reminds me of Wayne's World whenever I hear baking powder.
Why?
Don't they do that, excuse me, baking powder or something? Isn't there a bit in there?
Sounds really funny though.
It's perfecto, I didn't really do it justice to be fair.
Did you?
Right, look at this shaky mouth.
It's probably terrifying.
A little bit. I think that baking powder's been in the cupboard for a little bit, so it's a bit bitty.
It is warm bitter, isn't it? Hold on. Oh right, there we go. It's a bit
full of chunks.
Full of chunks.
Oh, it'll do. Once it's all mixed in, it'll be alright.
Oh, that's a lot. Don't want to go overboard with the baking powder.
No, we don't.
I don't know why, but you just don't want to. Love to give you an actual technical reason. Give it a little stir. That looks heavenly, doesn't it?
I would literally dip every part of my body into it.
Well, I'm good enough. It just looks too nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With brown goodness.
That should be the name of this video, I think.
Brown goodness.
Yeah. Right.
Right, what are you doing here, Soph?
So I'm going to be cracking 4 eggs, which I'm then going to whisk up with this ear fork. Okay? So, under pressure, it's a bit scary doing these eggs actually. Particularly with someone watching. Good. That one was clear.
Any shell?
No shell.
Shell check. Hole clear.
Clear. Okay. It's about being confident when you hit the side of the glass, I find.
Wow.
Yeah.
So convincing, Soph.
Thanks. Do I look like I know what I'm doing?
Yeah. Well, kind of.
Still no shell in there.
Well done.
Last one. Don't ruin it, fella, alright? Egg. Cracking some eggs.
Well done. I think the audience know that you're cracking some eggs. Right, you want to give it a good stir.
So stir it for a couple of yolks.
Get some elbow grease into it.
And then, you know, use that.
What's the face again? Wow.
I'm really sorry about my appearance today. I didn't shower up again, and I just thought I'd be a bit more like, you know, chilled in the house, casual. I'm getting a look from the cameraman as if to say you're about to. So shut up.
Right, so we want 250 grams of butter into the mixture of the chocolate, and we just basically want to melt them both over this heat. Yeah. I don't know the technical word for the process, but it doesn't really matter. You're basically melting chocolate and butter together,
Which is always good.
to make a silky mixture.
How unhealthy is that? God.
So yeah.
Eggs beaten. Right, so now what? So you will be adding the eggs. Oh, we need to add the chocolate first, don't we?
To be fully melted. We can take that off the heat a bit.
Oh, I think it's about ready, isn't it?
I think it is very ready.
Ready for my head to be dipped in it. Pretty bit hot, isn't it?
Just a little bit.
Scalded, like.
You get intense burns, but you would be absolutely delicious.
That's a good way to go.
Alright, so we'll take that off the heat.
Yeah.
Alright. That'll do. So that's all melted, all the chunks have dissolved. And now we want to sift the sugar, so we want some sugar. I don't know exactly how much, but we'll figure that out in a minute. And then we want to mix sugar into the chocolate, and then we'll mix the eggs into the chocolate, and then that mixture will then fold in with the flour. So there we go.
You make it sound so simple, Simon. Simple Simon.
Actually need to know how much sugar. Right, so we're going to get these pecan nuts. Had a couple, they are delicious.
No, like I said, I'll wait until the end.
So basically, the 100 grams, I say anything between, you want about 85 grams, but to be fair, I mean, what's 15 grams?
Between friends.
You know, if you're eating a couple along the way, you're going to help me out. Right, you want to put them onto a surface of some sort. And then you basically want to crush them. Right, you want to give them a good old crushing. But not into dust, but just
dust.
Hold on. Right, they're just not going everywhere.
They're like little cockroaches trying to escape, aren't they? in the nicest possible way.
The pecan nuts are delicious. I'm pretty sure cockroaches aren't. Do you know what would be easier actually? Okay, and you can keep this in. You can keep this in.
Because you learn as you cook.
You learn.
You
learn as you cook. So what I'm going to do is put them in a bag and then
crush.
The mess is contained.
I think this is a good plan.
And that way, I mean, you're not battering the nuts. You don't want to batter the nuts too much.
Want to batter your nut?
I bet you do. So you want to just basically put them in the bag and give them a light beating. Light beating. Right, so you want to hold one end. Get the oxygen out because you don't want the bag to explode. And you just give it a gentle smash.
That looks like a fun job.
It does look good, doesn't it?
I want to batter some things.
Pecans are really nice because they really go well with chocolate, but they're just great with sweet things, you know. Sometimes it's nice to caramelise the pecan nuts in sugar. You want to make sure you don't have it too hot, but caramelised pecan nuts are great.
So, I've got another film reference for you to do with pecans. Remember when Harry met Sally and Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan are doing that pecan pie?
Right.
Pecan pie. No?
I can't remember, but fair enough. But you know I'm not very good with film references. I forget them all. Basically.
Oh, very good.
Right,
That's worked a treat, hasn't it?
So, as you can see, they're crushed enough, but you still want some chunks in there. You know, you want texture in there, yeah. Maybe this is going to do it for that. But generally that's fine, you know. You don't want it dusty. You don't want it completely dusty. We don't want pecan dust.
You don't want sawdust.
I'm literally dribbling everywhere as well. Right, I want to give this a little mix. Oh wow.
Little mix.
I want to give it a little
Harry,
mix.
Jesse.
I like the shine you get from like the chocolate sauce when you mix, with butter, but it's basically fat.
Yeah, it's like on a ganache. I love that.
That's pretty much what it is. It's just the mixture of butter and chocolate melted, and it gives it this lovely shine. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it gives
it's looking good.
It gives it a lovely shine.
Not long to go on that now.
Right. So now the chocolate and butter mixture is completely melted. We've taken off the heat. So all we have to do now is add the caster sugar to the mixture. God, can you imagine the calorie content in this so far?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great, isn't it?
This isn't for anyone on a pre-Christmas preparation diet or anything. Right?
No, absolutely not.
If you think of Christmas as just going all out and getting a bit chunkier.
Getting a bit chunkier.
I prefer to have some extra insulation in the winter.
So that caster sugar is literally melting pretty much straight away. So we want to give that a good stir. And then after this, we want to beat in the, we want to put the eggs in and the vanilla essence, and then we want to fold in the flour, and then add the nuts, and that's pretty much it. And then we put it into the baking tray, and then it goes in the oven. And that's pretty much it.
Easy peasy.
It's really easy. So now the sugar's in, we want to put the vanilla extract in, and we only need a teaspoon of this. Now, I always use vanilla extract because it tends to be a more pure flavour of vanilla than the essence stuff, but it's up to you, preference. But I prefer to use the old extract. So you only need a teaspoon of this.
What's that, medicine? Good medicine.
Yeah, it's quite rich. So that's all in there. Give that a little stir. Bet how much you want to lick that spoon right
So
now.
much.
Right, so that's done. Now we add the beaten eggs.
So after this point, we can't lick the bowl.
Right, so we've added those eggs in. That looks quite nice actually. So I'm going to give that a mix. Doesn't matter if it's, because it's all going to mix together once we put the flour in, so you just want to give that like a, fold that through basically, a general mix. Don't want to be too rough with it, you know? Ease it in. God, that's true.
I was going to go all scientific and say you don't want to disrupt the enzymes, but no, you went somewhere else.
Do you know if that's true?
No, but it sounds good, doesn't it?
Just want to ease it in. Just want to be gentle. You can, because you can already feel it thickening up already, which is a good sign. Right, put it down. Right, so now I'm going to add those crushed pecan nuts. Stick them in. So you can see some chunks in there, which is good. Bit of texture. I've got the white chocolate chunks. I'm going to stick about 80 grams of these in. These are 100-gram packets, so if we just leave a little bit at the end, yeah, that'll do. And same with the old milk chocolate chunks. We'll do the same. About 80 grams. But that looks pretty nice. Yeah, a bit more.
No, save some for us later.
Okay. Right, we want to take this mixture and then fold it in with the melted chocolate and the vanilla essence and the eggs.
And I'm going to do that.
Right, so if I pour that in, let's see your folding action then, Soph.
It's always a bit trickier at the start because you're very conscious that you don't want to be spraying flour everywhere, so it will get a lot easier once it's all congealed together a bit more. But it's very wise that you don't stir. That's not what we're after. It's a very definite folding.
Look at us sounding like we actually know what we're doing.
We do. Cool.
But it looks pretty delicious, to be fair, doesn't it?
If we couldn't smell it, you'd think it might be a mince pie mix or a Christmas pudding.
Yeah, it's pretty chocolatey, isn't it?
Ooh.
It's like 3 types of chocolate in there. And these are supposed to be, once they're done properly, or if they're done properly, there will be that like soft, fudgy kind of texture, which is what we want. Right?
That's what everyone wants.
Good. Right, so you've done well there.
Thank you.
Nice.
I'm going to be lining the baking tin, so when we want to get the brownies out, it's going to be a lot easier. So just put some of this unsalted butter on just on a, what do you call this, kitchen towel, and just, just rub it around. But obviously make sure you're getting all the corners. Do I look like Delia? Definitely no Nigella, am I? Look like a washerwoman today. Right, I think we need a bit more on there. I've been a bit, what's the word? Tight with the butter, so to speak. Tight with the butter.
Right, I think that'll do.
Okay.
That's a good amount. I think you don't want too much, do you? You just want to.
There we go.
Have enough just to kind of line it. Perfect. Okay, right, so that's all ready. Ready for the old oven.
Right, what temperature have we got the oven?
180 degrees.
Okay.
And we've basically just preheated it, so when they go in, it's right in the 180 degree temperature heat.
Oh, yes.
As they would say. So yeah, so that's all good. Okay. Right, here we go. So Soph's done a great job folding it through, so now it's all a lovely mixture. All we do now is literally just plonk it on.
And how big's that tin?
It's I think it's 30 by 20 centimetres, 3.5 centimetres deep. So it's basically enough mixture to basically fill in, but obviously it's going to rise, so you don't want to fill it up to the max because then it's just going to
spill over the top.
Spill over, yeah. You don't want that. You want to keep that, all that goodness. So you want to just softly push it to the edges. I mean, once it goes in the oven, it's all going to just spread and
get delicious.
Get delicious, basically. But that is pretty much it. And so all we do now is stick it in the oven.
And that is, I think we said earlier, but it's about 180, is it?
Yeah, 180 degrees. So we stick that in, and we want to stick that in for between 20 and 25 minutes. So if we stick it on for 20 minutes. Right, so it's been in the oven for about 25 minutes now, at 170 degrees, and I mean, it looks alright, doesn't it?
Cool.
Oh,
what does it feel like to the touch? Is it solid or is it a bit gooey?
Well, the surface should be a bit firm. Yeah, that's perfect. Like,
it usually hardens after a while, doesn't it?
You actually want the you actually want the surface to be firm, but obviously in the middle. I mean, if you want to test, you can literally just prod a knife in there. And yeah, I mean that's absolutely fine. I mean, yeah, that's brilliant.
Okay, and we'll be eating it later, and you will be seeing us with pleasurable faces on. So it's time to eat now. So we're putting the brownie in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and it's going to be joined by some of this.
So do you want to give it a quick little?
So look at it. You see the layers and goodness. And
that's good depth, I reckon.
Yeah.
Good size.
And yeah, hopefully it'll be nice and gooey when it's hot as well. Let's have a look, shall we?
Well, they are generous portions, aren't they?
Come on. There we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo.
Did you see what's in there? It's salted caramel ice cream.
You're just so excited.
So excited to eat it.